Welcome to the 7 Cents Podcast, where we go beyond dollars and cents to unlock the mindset beyond the money.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust.
And I'm Coach R.L, your money mindset coach. Mind right, money right, legacy locked in.
Guys, this is not your average financial podcast. We're breaking down money myths, mindset traps, and economic game plans.
We keep it real, raw, and relevant, from micro money moves to macro financial shifts.
This is a 7 Cents podcast where your mind meets your money.
Hey, welcome back to the 7 Cents Podcast. I am here with Yaz Franco and then my illustrious co-host, Mike Macklin. Hey, we last couple of episodes, we've been going in. There's another episode that we did and we wanted to continue talking a little bit about it. But the big baller women making money and how men feel about it. So we really want to stick to those fine traditions. And you know me, I'm going to jump right into it, kind of where we left off at, right? So we talk about the dating aspects of men and women and how there's a different dynamic in essentially how men should feel. Emotional expectation when they make more money than men. In a relationship, how do you prioritize the emotion when money is involved?
It's not so much about prioritizing, it's just about understanding your role in each area, right? So, like when I'm not home and I'm at work, I'm the boss, right? Or when it comes to dealing with my team, I'm the boss. But when I'm at home, that's, I'm still a boss, but I'm not the boss, if that makes any sense, and understanding your role in that. So, when you understand that you can't bring work home per se, and understanding like, okay, you know how, I don't know, I'm big on like everything has a home around the house, so put things back where they belong. Having that same energy when it comes to how you carry yourself, right? Like at work, yeah, of course, like people come to me, I make the shots, whatever. But when it comes to being at home, that's not my role anymore. So, that's not how I act.
Yeah, no, I like it. I do think in some of those relationships, people haven't actually talked about it and established roles and boundaries. And sometimes when the money gets mixed into it, especially if the money is not in the same pot, then it could go array. What do you think, Mike?
I really like what Yaz had to say about that is just separating the work from home, and also what you said as far as having that conversation. And I think that's what it really boils down to is, okay, in dealing with your partner, that's the first thing you got to understand about the situation. That is a partner. That is your partner. That nobody is over the other one. Whether the person makes more money or makes less money, it's not a question of who's over who. It's just a question of, okay, this is our situation. How are we going to handle this collectively? Okay, how do we want to do this? Do we want to separate the money? Do we not want to separate the money? I don't think the roles realistically have to be reversed just because somebody makes more money than the other. It's just that, okay, it's just a conversation you have. Is okay, this is the equation. Okay, based off of this equation, what are we going to do? And that is what you do. You just make that decision jointly. I don't think money should really be the factor. The factor should be the two people involved and how they choose to go through life as a team. And so that's my answer to that question. It stole a little bit from both of y'all's, but overall, I think the overarching idea is just, okay, how are y'all going to work together as a group? It's not about pieces of paper and who has more or less. It's about, okay, how are we going to function as a team?
No, that's good. And I felt like you was going to say something.
I was going to say, and it's also going back to like money doesn't equal masculinity. Like money is not equivalent to leadership and respect, which is, what comes with masculinity, right? If she makes more money than you, that doesn't make you less of a man, right? It just means that you just have more to build with. You have more to pull from because now you have somebody that's there on your side that you have more assets. You know what I mean? It's not one defining, okay, so you don't make a lot of money, so now you all of a sudden you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? No, like you're still a man. And honestly, if it bothers you that much, go make some more money. Like,
there you go.
If it really bothers you that much, find a way to make more money than her. Like, slowly but surely, it's not that serious.
Like, baby, your job hiring, I transfer.
You need an admin assistant?
Right. But no, that's actually real. But I'll tell you where you hit I ain't gonna say you hit an iceberg, but most men will hit an iceberg in that position because culturally, we have been brought up and taught that we should be earners and providers. And when we get to that position where we're not able to earn and provide what it seems like, there's a barrier in that doesn't actually define you, because you're not earning and providing. You just don't have to in that particular relationship, which means you got to bring more than just that to the table, right?
Yes, but so earning less doesn't mean that you're not earning. Now, it'd be different if you were home on the couch playing video games, not making no money at all. Okay, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But if you're out there working, earning money, and bringing that home to provide for your family what you can, and she just so happens to have a job that does that for her a little bit more, again, you're not earning and providing. You're just not earning and providing in the idea that you put on yourself, in the idea of what you think that looks like. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing it at all. And I think a lot of men get stuck on the, oh, she makes more money than me, so I can't provide for her. No, yes, you can. She don't want to spend all her money on you. She want to keep some of that. So still provide. You know what I'm saying? You can
Absolutely.
still do what you want to do. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop you from providing. Still provide. Even if she can provide for herself, she doesn't want to. She wants you to do it because it makes her feel appreciated. It makes her feel cared for, right? Stop thinking because a woman has something, she doesn't want it from somebody else. Especially if you find a single woman who's been doing it for herself. Oh, well, she already takes care of her. She takes care of everything on her own already. She don't really need me. No, come in and save me, Captain. What are we doing? I don't want to do this. I'm only doing it because I don't have a choice. If I don't, I'm in the street. What are we doing? No, bro, stop. That's madness. Anyways, sorry.
No, that's really
Check a nerve.
good. That's really good. Hey, so let me ask you this from the women's perspective, and more so the dating perspective. A lot of times women have set this standard that men have to be earners. How has women setting that precedence make men start to feel that way when the woman now is out earning the man? How do we change our mind?
Do men change their mind?
Yeah, how do men change? Yeah, how do men change their mind based off of an expectation that women set?
Understanding what the expectation is. Again, it's not that we want you guys to earn everything and provide everything, right? It's okay. I have a decent job. I have, but whatever your situation is, if you make a decent amount, of honest living, and you approach a woman and that's not enough, that's a her problem. That's not a you problem, because you have to be secure in the fact that you're a man, you're doing what you need to do within your limits, whatever that is. And you're doing what you got to do. Stop letting women that probably are miserable dictate what the standards are. It's like the whole coffee versus dinner date thing. That shit's so irritating right now. Only because most men with money don't lead with money. So it's the men that lead with money that don't have any money. So that's another conversation. But yeah, just understanding that that's, being secure, being confident in who you are as a man. You have to know that you're the best man that you can be in order to not even let that phase you.
Now, let me ask Mike, do you think women are unintentionally blocking good partners because they're prioritizing income over character?
Ooh, first and foremost, I'm gonna say I'm glad we have an editor. I'm glad we have an editor. I'm gonna start out with this. I'm first and foremost shout out to the homie Kevin Samuels, because he really set some real precedence on this. Some people may not like what he had to say about certain things, but I think he spoke from a place of reality. The reality is you know what I'm saying, you can't let somebody else create a standard for you. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Yaz touched on it. If that's her standard and it's not yours, then it's okay. Then look, we not a match. You know what I'm saying? It should not take away from you as a man. You know what I'm saying? Be a man if that's who you are. And I think I said this on the last episode. If that's who you are, just listen, this is what I'm coming to the table with. If it's not acceptable to you, then guess what? You have the right to say, okay, no. But what you're not going to do is make me do something that's not within my realm. If I'm not there, I'm not there. And if you can't get with that, and it's not an emotional thing, it's okay, cool. You want something more, then God bless you and good luck to you. And something else that I wanted to, that even made me think of Kevin Samuels, he put out, statistically speaking, some of these expectations that these women are looking for, them type of men ain't looking for you. You know what I'm saying? People that's making that kind of bread, you know what I'm saying, that you want, most of the time, the women that they deal with, like they don't put a lot into those women because it's just like, all right, I'm at this high level right now. You know what I mean? You coming in with whatever you got going on. I don't have time for that because I'm focused on what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on trying to build and stay at that level of success. You coming into this conversation talking about, I want a man that makes $1 million and this, that, and the third. In most cases, that man probably ain't looking for you because he got to that place based on who he was. You know what I mean? And so coming in with that is okay for men of that level. It's probably going to be a turnoff, and he probably going to be like, you know what? Yeah, God bless you, sister. You know what I'm saying? I wish you luck in whatever it is that you're looking for, but I'm not that person for you. But I say all that to say, at the end of the day, as a man, your life is under your control. You choose to accept what you accept or don't accept. So if her standard is something that you like, yeah, no, I'm not with it, then you have that right to say, okay, listen, respectfully, I'm gonna have to decline, and you know what I'm saying, wish you luck in what you looking for.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Yeah, ultimately, it all comes down to confidence and insecurities, right? If a man sees a woman that has money, that's put together, that's holding down the fort, and or isn't, then if he finds a woman that is doing it and he finds it as a competition, then that comes from a place of insecurity, right? A confident man would see a woman that's in that position and says, okay, let me see what I could do with this and how I could apply that to my life and how it could propel both of us. That's confidence, right? This is an asset. No good businessman is going to see somebody that got something together and be like, nah, I don't want to work with that. That's too much for me. No,
Right.
it's okay. How can I help her? How can I add what she's got going on to my life to propel us and take a load off at the same time so she can soften up and be the woman for me that I need her to be? Because she's only this because she has to be. She doesn't have a choice. So it comes down again. Ego is huge, and confidence levels are, yeah. It's big on ego and confidence and insecurity.
I like that.
Have you ever felt the need to downplay your ambition or success to make someone else feel more secure?
Here we go.
Yes.
And tell me about it.
Yes, I have. For most of my life, only because I joined the military when I was really young. I think because I joined so young, I was high speed because it was all I knew. I didn't know how to not be. And for those of you that aren't military smart, high speed just means really, really good at what you do. And so I've always had to play dumb a little bit to get people to like me because if I was already a pretty girl and I was moving up the ranks pretty quickly. So I would always have to just be in other areas outside of the military and other areas play it down so that a man can feel like more secure a little bit. Like I do PMCSs every Monday, but no, I don't know how to check my own oil. Can you do that for me? You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know how to change a tire. Can you do that for me? It's only because it can be a lot, I think, for a man sometimes.
No, I agree. Hey, Mike, do you think that is necessary for a woman to do that?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna put an interesting little spin on this because as Yaz was talking, it made me think about this. If you have never read this book, I highly suggest you read it. It's a book called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and one of the first laws it talks about is to never outshine the master. And it's not to say that you have to do that, but it is sometimes it could be a power play because sometimes you have to let people feel like they are higher than what they really are to get what you want from them. And yes, this is not something to saying against you, but what I'm saying is, okay, especially in your situations you talked about, sometimes again, you'll act, okay, oh, I don't know how to do this so that you can get what you want. Okay. Like your situation you just said about the oil changing thing. Okay. Yeah, I know how to do it, but guess what? No, I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let you get that. You know what I'm saying? Because it does two things. One is a position of power because now you can influence the situation. It can go how you want it to go. And two, it makes that person feel like they won at the same time because it's okay. Oh, as a man, you feel like, oh, I just did something for her, even though you know how to do it. And in a lot of cases, that's actually a really nice thing to do. Okay. You know what I mean? sometimes a man just want to feel good. Okay. And that could be very helpful in the relationship. A lot of men, they thrive off of that kind of praise or, hey, I need your help. And you can get a lot more done by just acting, okay, yeah, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna let him cook. Is it necessary?
You get more.
Exactly.
Sorry. No,
Yeah, and
get more.
it's
You
not
get more.
necessary, but yeah, you get more. And again, and the first thing it made me think about is the 48 laws of power and how, look, when you don't outshine the master, and not saying that the man is the master, but just, putting it into its proper context, when you, don't outshine the master, you get more from that situation because it's okay. That person feels like they're winning. Obviously, you win because you got what you wanted. So everybody wins. Okay.
100%.
So I think that you should, as a woman, like we've always been told, like you're just as smart and anything a man can do, you could do, blah blah, which is true. Like I'm here for that, but also just in the way that like our brains work, like the chemistry and how. I don't know if a female frontal lobe is bigger and it develops faster than a male's frontal lobes. Our critical thinking is a lot faster and quicker than a man's. No offense. But so with that being said, like sometimes it could be, even if your confidence is there, or not so much the confidence, but even if your intelligence is there, sometimes that alone can be a lot to process because men are visual. So if you're really, really pretty, they're already processing the fact that they're sitting down with this beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I made it, right? And then she's really, really smart. You'll blow a circuit in their brain. So you gotta like ease them into that a little bit. That's how I feel about it. I know it sounds crazy, but it really does. If you do it too fast, they'll get intimidated and they'll run away.
No, I agree. But I also think it does come down to a man's self-awareness, right? Because everybody knows my wife, ultra independent, ultra smart and everything. So when she does that, I'd be like, flirt with me, baby girl. Because I know damn well you can do it, but you want some attention. Flirt with me, baby girl. So it just comes down to self-awareness at the end of the day. Yeah, hell yes, absolutely necessary. Because at the same time, you have this woman running circles around you. And then, you start to see the independence and you be like, why the hell am I here? And she'd be like, hey, can you go do this for me? You'd be like, yeah, she flirt. Hell yeah, I'm about to go do that in 5 minutes. Yes, I can. I'm useful now. But again, another part of that too is men need to feel useful. They need to feel useful
Exactly.
in those situations. And so it's perfect time. Now, I know I felt like the way I asked the question was set up, did you have to downplay yourself? But I put that on the forefront to say sometimes it is necessary, especially in a relationship, to just rebalance I don't want to call it power, but rebalance the relationship. Because my next question is, like, why do we often equate women's success with being less feminine or less relationship material, right? And that kind of rebalances the thought. But now that you got my next question,
Ain't work sometimes.
why is it that we often equate women's success with being less feminine or less relationship material?
Okay. I wouldn't necessarily say the success is the turnoff. I would say that the persona behind the success sometimes is the turnoff. And what I mean by that is sometimes women that do really well for themselves, they take on a lot more masculine traits. They're more assertive, they're more domineering, they're more in your face. And for a lot of men, that is a turnoff because it's okay. It's like you talking to another man now. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, that's typically how we go out to the world. Say we go out to the world as dominant, as assertive, as powerful. And when you have a young lady who's coming into you with that same type of energy, it's almost like you don't look at her as a young lady anymore. You look at her as another man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the turnoff comes into play. And I'm going to speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't personally like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's a turnoff for me personally when you coming at me with masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? If we doing business together and stuff like that, that's fine. It is what it is. Okay. I want you give me everything you got so that, everything works well. But when you come in at me like that as a partner, it's okay. It's now, again, you put me in a place of I'm talking to another man now. And as a heterosexual man, I'm not attracted to another man. So I'm not going to respond to that in terms of being turned on by that. So that's what I think. I think the energy that you bring into that when you or the attitude that you bring into with that success is where the turnoff kind of starts to happen, is because now, when you coming at me just as masculine as another man would come to me, then now I'm looking at this, okay, wait a minute. This is a little bit too masculine for a woman to be coming at me with. And yeah, I don't like it.
I agree. And so sometimes I do have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is that sure that that's the energy you want to come with?
Right.
Because, that energy for a man is different. And sometimes I do have to explain that. Hey, you're coming at a testosterone level. Like, we like 3 degrees away from fighting where you at right now.
There you go.
Is this where we going?
There you go.
If not, we both probably need to turn it down a notch, because you just talked to me like we about to start a pay-per-view fight, and I'm all for it, but this is where we at. You might want to bring it down here so we can actually talk, because I can't hear. There's frequencies to it, right? And if you're talking to me at too high of a frequency, my frequency is different from yours. Yours might be anger. Mine is rage, right? That frequency where you think you at, where me, turn it down a couple notches so we can communicate. But absolutely. What Mike was saying, and he struck a nerve, and I was like, 100%. And I don't mind you operating in a space. Just sometimes that way that you're operating can get too into the what I just made up just now is the masculine zone, and I'm fine with the level of masculinity that you're operating at, but there's certain ways that when you're communicating to a man that it just is triggering. Like, it is ultra triggering, because another man won't talk to me that way, because if he do, we about to start a pay-per-view.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yes, let me ask you that same question.
Okay, can you repeat the question just so I can make sure that it registered correctly?
I know how you feel. I had to do the same thing. I'm like, hold on, let me process again.
Let me make sure. Why is it that we often equate women's success with her being less feminine or less relationship material?
Okay, so that is the programming. And I think I touched this last episode where I spoke about how men are not taught to clap for successful women. We're taught that femininity is a place of supporting a man, where masculinity is a leadership role, right? So when a woman gets into a leadership role, a man doesn't necessarily know how to clap for that, because it's almost like that's not normal. You're not supposed to be there. What is she doing there? So all of these emotions stir up. And then when she tries to do it in a feminine way, hey guys, I'm in a leadership. Let's say I get a job and I'm like in a leadership role, and I'm like, hey, Bob, like, I'm going to need you to have this, and by Friday. And he doesn't take it serious because it's coming from a woman, right? Now it's cause and effect. Now you don't want to take my role serious. Now I have to man up. I have to enforce the role by threatening with something of the sort. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you don't do that, whatever, I'm going to write you up, or whatever the case. I don't know. I've never worked in corporate, but you know what I'm saying? And so it forces, and then now a man, again, now it's not coming from a place of she's being feminine. Now is if a man talked to me like that, I wouldn't take it, da-da-da. Now it's, oh, now she's masculine. I think it has a lot to do with how femininity is portrayed. Like, femininity has always been a supportive role. Like, it's always been the support. Women have always been the people that a man brings home the bacon, she cooks the meal, da-da-da. But what happens when the woman comes home and, like, women brings home the bacon? Now she has to bring home the bacon, got to take off her suit, put on her apron, and also make the meal. So it's not so much of why is a woman successful more masculine, but more so why is femininity such a narrow box that when she's financially independent, she's disqualified of being feminine.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna, you know me, I like to be, this is a controversial show, right? So let me address. Yeah.
Bring it.
Come on, Rob.
Let me stir the pot a little bit.
So we good.
Yeah. Let me stir the pot just a little bit. So why do we equate that type of success as less relationship material? I think for men, we can only see what we can do. And most of us are brought up to say, hey, you get a good job, you get a wife, you have kids, a family, and then y'all live happily ever after. Now, the first thing this man sees in a successful woman is, how the hell are we going to have kids and a family if she's just as busy as I'm busy? Like, who watching the kids, who cooking, who cleaning? Now we don't have roles or anything. So a man can't fathom, and when I say I'm speaking for all men, I'm not, because number one, my relationship didn't even start out that way, so I can't relate. But in my man mind, I would look at this and say, this woman is ultra busy already. How is she going to fit into this box of my white picket fence and 5 kids, and when I come home she has a pie ready? What you don't know, and I say from a man's mind, is what you don't know is if you got a real superwoman and you do your part as well, when you get home, sometimes that fucking pie be there and you be like, holy shit. You have no idea of the capability of a very strong woman. And that is why it is, because like you say, the programming and society and how people's mind is framed around what it is supposed to look like. Y'all watch too much fucking TV. That's it. Y'all have a disconnect from reality. Watch too much TV.
Yeah, and I don't think that, like how you said, like a woman would we figure things out. It's just what we do. You know what I mean? Okay, I have to work from this time to this time. I prep. Okay, the food's gonna be in the crock pot or whatever. Like you make it happen. Where like a man, unfortunately, they don't think that way. They're like one way, like one street at a time, one road at a time. Versus a woman can be on a highway and she can move in all lanes a little bit more than a man does. And it's because I feel like because men can't fathom that, like they can't process, I wouldn't be able to do it. So how would my woman be able to do it? And so it makes her less of a woman.
So let me
Less
ask this though.
relationship
Yeah.
material.
See, that's why I'm about to good transition. I love these transition points that be hitting. So what does mutual respect look like in a relationship where a woman makes more? And then how do the couples protect that balance?
Mutual respect is not being threatened by the situation. It's seeing it as an asset. It's understanding, okay, I met this woman. She's had her own. I'm not here to take that from her, but I'm here to lighten the load and see how by lightening the load for her, she can support the load as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And that's mutual respect. It's like that servant leadership of I serve you and you serve me in the same, I submit to you and you submit to me in that same, to that capacity of mutual respect. It's just that servant leadership.
100%. And I got this fly kicking my ass, and
I was wondering what you was waving
I
at.
swung 3 times. I swung 3 times.
What's happening
I'm trying to be professional. And he just landed on my face, and I'm like, bruh. Then he flew off. I swung. He came back. He made me slap myself. Now I'm sitting here.
He's like, oh, you doing a podcast, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
you. Say less. I'm not editing that part out either. That shit's gonna be funny.
Right.
Did he just slap himself? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, he did. Mike, how can they keep that balance in their relationship if the woman is making more?
Yeah. The reality is the amount of income has no bearing on it. It has nothing to do with the situation. And that's the biggest problem is you can't put a price tag on a relationship. You can't sit there and say, okay, a certain dollar amount has to come into this or can't come into this. What a relationship is 2 people coming together based on the fact that they like each other. It has nothing to do with the money. And I like what Rob said earlier, just a minute ago. And stop watching this TV, man. Stop letting the TV tell you who you supposed to be as a man or who you supposed to be as a woman. You supposed to determine that for yourself. It has nothing to do what's on a box. It has everything to do with who you decide you're going to be, who God put you on this earth to be. It has nothing to do with it. And I keep saying this, money is nothing but a piece of paper. That's all it is. It's a means of exchange for goods or services. That's all that money is. Money does not make you a better person. It doesn't make you anything other than somebody who has access to some resources. That's all that money is. It gives you access to resources. So if somebody has more than the other person does, okay, as long as y'all 2 like each other, that's the thing about it. If y'all 2 like each other, you know what I'm saying? That is what you should be looking at. Mutual respect comes from basically acknowledging the other person's skill sets, what they can bring to the table. It's not about the money. So that's where respect comes from. It comes from acknowledgement of ability. Okay, if you come into this relationship with a lot of ability that's producing you a lot of income, then hey, I got a lot of respect for you because I'm like, hey, listen, you out there making it happen. So great, fantastic. And I expect the same in return. Okay, hey, listen, respect me for what I can bring to this, my abilities, my skill sets. And again, just to overall answer that question, again, it's not about money. Respect comes from, again, acknowledging that person who they are and the fact that you like who they are. And so because I like that, I feel that we can work together, and that's what we gonna do. The money is just, okay, the resources, we got access to more resources now as a team. Hey, great. Along with me respecting you, hey, we can get our hands on more stuff too.
100%. And I probably said it about 5 times. Like for me, what it comes down to is if you are building and you kingdom building, you put all of that money into one pot, and then the money conversation is really out the window. Like, this is what we're doing with the money to get to where we at. It don't matter about who make more or who make less. The fact of the matter is the money is in a pot and shit is getting taken care of. Outside of that, we can be human beings. That's just how I operate. But I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody who's like struggling with the relationship dynamic and trying to figure out, hey, how do we get over who makes more? Just don't look at the number. Look at what y'all make together and try to get more powerful. This fly is fucking reckless.
Back. He is back.
Yeah, he came back, landed on my hat above my eye. Like, oh, you're not about to close this show out like you got some sense. Nah, you
just ask the fly a question,
like
Rob, because he want to be part of that. He want to be part of the episode. Go ask the fly a question.
Yeah.
You got to land on the mic, close out the show. This show is brought to you by...
I want to say.
This show is brought to you by Raid, Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Raid, if you're watching right now, say if y'all want to give us some ad revenue or something, say, hey, look, we'll take it.
Facts. Hey, before we get out of here, before we close the show, Yaz, do you have any final words or thoughts on the topic?
Yeah, I want to say that don't let finances equate femininity or masculine energy. I think a woman that's successful can still be a boss, you know what I'm saying? And come home and still be nurturing and caring and all of the feminine traits. As a matter of fact, when a woman is in a position of power, it's coming a feminine place from a position of power, from a position of, okay, not necessity, but now she's doing it genuinely because she cares about you versus doing it because she feels if she doesn't, she's going to lose the roof over her head or something. I think that's very important. And yeah, those are my final words. It's not a threat.
I love it. I love it. Mike, what you got?
I think my overarching thought for this whole thing is something actually that Yaz said in one of the other episodes. And it is basically that money, all that money really is, money just exposes more of who you are. That's all money really does. Is okay, so if you are a-hole and you're a-hole with a bunch of money, you just a bigger a-hole. Okay. Or, you know what I'm saying? If you are a dope person and you're a dope person with a bunch of money, you just a doper person because you're able to do more dope stuff, you know what I'm saying, to help people or be cool. And that's what it should boil down to. And my final thought is what it really boils down to is money is the whole money thing is all about who you have to become to bring it into your life anyway. So at the end of the day, work on self-mastery, work on being your best version of yourself. And, you know, the things that you want in life, money, power, respect, everything else is going to come to you anyway because you attract it with who you are.
Nope, I love it. And my closing words is the universe owes you nothing. At the end of the day, that's really how people have to look at it. And, you know, that really comes from the TV aspect, the kids with the white picket fence and the things that you think are supposed to happen. At the end of the day, the universe owes you nothing. So you have to go out there and get what is yours, right? But again, like an episode I said prior to that, the universe is also not on a budget. So you can get whatever it is that you want, but you have to be in the right mindset, to get those things. As far as y'all's programs and oh my goodness, man, this is a rough episode for me. The mic smacked me in the face, flies attacking me. I dropped some profound shit.
What kind of energy you putting out in the world right now? What's going on? The universe is fighting you right now.
The universe is talking to me. It said, I hear you talking about me. Make sure you say it right. But before we get out of here, in y'all's programs, what are some of the things y'all got going on? Yaz, I'll start with you.
Thank you, Rob. First and foremost, thank you guys so much for having me again. I really do appreciate being here. It's always a good time to see Rob fight with a fly.
That's the best part.
No, but I am trying to help 100 people get licensed in the financial industry. We have a big transition of wealth going on. We don't have enough people to handle the money that's moving around. So don't leave money on the table. If you think that you'd be interested, just reach out to me off my Instagram. It's @it's Yaz Franco. And yeah, no, I'm trying to help 100 people get licensed in the financial industry, preferably people that look like us.
I love it. Mike, what you got cooking?
I see it. The green order. No, but our flagship thing here, and I'm going to keep mentioning it because I feel like it's the most important and the most simple thing that we can bring, and that's the 60-day financial reset. I'm really pushing that right now because, Yaz said, there is so much money out here for us, but we are not in the right mindset right now to attract it. And what the 60-day financial reset aims to do is to reset this mindset that we have about money and just all the errors in thinking that we have towards money. And this program is an 8-week program to where that's what we're focusing on. We got to rewire your mind to understand. And it's funny that Rob talked about this, about the universe. And you got to understand that the universe owes you nothing, but it will give you everything if you go out there and tell it what you want. And that's what you have to understand. And that's the mindset of the 60-day financial reset, is that the universe will give you whatever you want, but you have to stop thinking that you can't have it and start believing that, yes, look, the world will give me whatever I want, but I have to get out here and put myself in alignment with it. So if you want to become a part of 60-day financial reset, we'll go ahead and put the link to doing a consultation. It's absolutely free. We'll talk about what you want to do, how I can help. And if it's something that you want to be a part of, then we can work together. If not, then I pray that you find something that will help you get to where you want to.
I love it. I love it. And at the GOAT Legacy, we help families simplify finances. And that is our mantra right now. You can go to www.thegoatbusiness.com, or you can go to www.yourmoneygoat.com/wealth, and you can get our 7-minute wealth guide. It has 25 actionable tasks that you can do right now to get yourself started in finances. And again, it's quick, simple read, and actionable. And that's the things that we like to do at the GOAT Legacies. Truly appreciate you again, Yaz, for jumping on with us. We hope to see you back soon. Mike, we still ain't come up with a tagline, so I'm just going to finish like this. Fuck flies, get money.
Let's go.
We are out.
You just tapped into the 7 cents, where the mind meets the money and the legacy gets built.
It's your boy Money Mike, the financial Thanos, snapping one myth at a time and leaving no financial lies standing.
And I'm Coach R.L. Mind right, money right, legacy locked in. If today's episode gave you game, make sure you rate, review, and share it with someone.
Hey, follow us on all platforms and keep the conversation going, guys. DM us your questions, your myths, and your money wins.
Until next time, think deeper, move smarter, and keep building.
This is the 7 Cents Podcast. We out.